So this is the main home screen, and you can see that it primarily comprises of EPUB and PDFs that you have here. The UI on this is actually very interesting because for the most part it's hidden away, but you only really see it with gesture based. So you can kind of like swipe up here or swipe down and you get various menus here. So you can see recent, search, document, notes, summary, email, calendar. Email will email anything that you annotate. So if say you edit a PDF document, you want to send it to yourself or to colleagues, you can do it like that. It does do it through like Outlook, Exchange servers, but you could also customize it for like, you know, Hotmail, Yahoo, and all that type of stuff. So the main home screen is basically documents. This is pretty well where you're going to be for the most part. You can scroll down from the top and you can check the grayscale of the screen, so you can make the screen lighter or darker for e-ink. You can set up like a profile tab here, and this kind of kicks you to like the settings menu, so you can actually set up your email address here. Phone number login. Supernote provides 32 gigs of storage, so this is like your cloud library like login. You can click device and calibrate like your settings for like your stylus, date and time, and all of that. You can actually sideload in your own fonts in here, and you get some like template information here. System, this is pretty well like where you would set up for automatic sleeping, power down, firmware updates, and all that type of stuff. And you can see that's where it is, the auto update, serial numbers, all that type of stuff. And then statements, because this is based on Linux. This device, the Supernote A5, reads both PDFs and EPUBs. This is an example of an EPUB, and you can kind of click here to change the font size. You can sideload in your own fonts like we said, so these are just the default fonts. You can change the line spacing, which they call row spacing, and the margins. What you can do is you can actually draw in an EPUB book, and you can swipe to the, you know, here and actually get all the sort of options that you would get with the digital note-taking app, which we'll get to in a bit. But suffice to say, you have a lot of flexibility and control to be able to annotate EPUB books, and that's very rare in a digital note-taking device right out of the box.
Although it is an EPUB, you don't actually have any way to long press or make annotations, but they kind of have a solution for that. If you choose the pen and a small enough pen size to be accurate, you can actually box using square parentheses any body of text, and summary and comment comes up. If you choose summary, you actually add it to your summary, which you can reference later on. Alternatively, you can box something else, like the word push, and we can say comment. And when you click comment, it brings up this where you can make some notes, tell people it's important, and then once you click save, you'll see that it says P on it, and the parentheses have become solid, so you can then click on it to reference it later. So you can make little annotations that way by boxing certain amount of text, but there is no finger compatibility with long presses or keyboards or anything like that. Like pretty much anything PDF, ebooks, the note-taking experience itself, like Michael mentioned, you just swipe the side, you get all the same elements, but we'll save that for the note-taking experience. You don't need to click on 2 or 3 options like say an Onyx device to get into scribbling. You can just scribble right away. This does have the ability to make shapes, so if I make a really poor star, it'll actually turn into a good star, and they're going to be implementing more things in the future like hearts and exclamation marks and stuff like that. They currently don't have that right now, basically just the star. The PDF looks really nice, but there is no pinching and zooming. There's only a few ways to change it actually. You do have crop, And crop can actually use pinching and zooming. You see it does register that I have multi-touch active, but it doesn't actually zoom in or anything, and you have a consistent crop through all the pages. So you do have screenshot as well, but because of the resolution and depending on the size of the PDF, it takes a long time to save it. Export actually takes even longer because it exports the entire PDF. So we used to use the old Monsters Manual from Dungeons & Dragons, which was 120 pages. It'll actually export the entire PDF with all of your notes on there. You can also click here and you have quick access and success. It adds hotkeys. You can also turn pages very quickly. It does have a decent response rate, although it's very limiting what you can do because, like I said, there's no pinch and zooming, there's no long press. You do have a lot of features that are left out.
How does the Supernote A5 stack up against the competition with a writing experience? Well, let's check it out.
So you slide the side once more and you have 3 styles of pen. So you have straight pen, you have pen with pressure sensitivity, and you have a really fat marker, which we'll hold on here for a sec because we actually get 3 colors. You get light gray, gray, and black. So you have 3 different colors and they all show up on the screen, unlike say Sony DPT that only has 2 colors and you don't really even see the red or blue till you export it. You do have different styles of erasers as well. You have stroke eraser, you have isolated area eraser, and you have full eraser that wipes everything away. If you see staining on the screen, just swipe the bar up and the thing refreshes. It's actually very quick. We'll go to a big pen size because I'll show you that if you make a box, you can actually use the selector tool and select it. Not only can you move it around, you can actually copy as many times as you want and kind of stamp it on the screen. So if you've drawn something really intricate and you want to move it over, you can actually copy it. There aren't any elements to move it around, expand it, rotate it, or anything like that just yet, but
like
all that
free form transformations.
Exactly. All that's going to come in future updates. You also have back if there's anything that you made a mistake on, or you have forward if you want to, well, rectify your mistake. You do have share up top. What that'll do is prompt you to log into your email. You do have styles, so much like pretty much any note-taking device. You have sketches, small squares, 4-wire, lattice, or even, handwriting practice. You basically have all styles that you'd ever need on there. You do have copy page as well, so you can copy that and make new pages. You do have screenshot, which again takes a little bit of time, hotkey access, create page, and delete page as you see fit.
A lot of people ask when they see these sort of reviews, how does it work with edge to edge?
That's right.
And you can see that you can just draw.
You can actually draw over and behind the element there that says 1 out of 4 next.
Yeah.
So now you don't know what page you're on, but
exactly. So you can do edge to edge, and this is one of the benefits of a flush screen and bezel design, is that you can sort of draw on a side of the bezel.
We usually see, when we hear Wacom or Wacom, we see the standard stylus. It's plastic, it's black, has a button on the side. This is the type of stylus that comes with the Supernote. Looks like a pen, because it essentially is. It's made out of metal. It's very heavy. Feels really good in the hand. Has a little cap and a lapel clip, or a shirt clip, I suppose. And it looks like a pen. You tell me that doesn't look like one of those gel pens. Looks like a pen in most ways. It has the tip with the little metal shroud, and then it has like a little plastic buffer. And then you see it looks like the ink container. And what's more, they went a step further. And they didn't just make it look like a pen on the outside, they made it look like a pen on the inside. This looks like a pen ink refill. And on here you'll see different badging. It's hard to read. There's some serial codes and some model numbers, and it says made in Japan on it. And you have the spring for the spring-loaded movement of the pen, and you have the chamber right here. And yeah, this is really cool. And they have the little coil wrapped little copper for communication from this pen to the device itself. And the pen is really high quality. We haven't seen this type of quality done in note-taking e-readers to date. The highest quality one we've seen is the DPT pen, but that pen is almost $150 to replace, and it needs to be charged by USB, and this Doesn't need any batteries or charging.
In the end, the Supernote A5 retails for $5.99. It doesn't have a lot of visibility outside of China and Japan, but it is available in the Good e-Reader store for the same price, $5.99. Comes with a stylus, comes with a case with a rail cover, so it's not going to ever fall out once you kind of slot it in, which is pretty interesting. I think my final thoughts is that the design is really inspiring. It's very different from a lot of products like in the market. The stylus is entirely unique for this device as well. And I feel that a digital note-taking first, it does a tremendous job. So for goodereader.com and a review of the Supernote A5, my name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.